to this last episode for 2025 of Drinking Beer with Don. I am Don, and if you haven't been following the last 5 episodes, I am working my way through the custom-built beer advent calendar put on by my good friends at Cascadia in the Red Gap in the News Bay. So it has been a great ride so far. I've done 20 beer, 4 left to go. Beer 21 right here. Ta-da. Still fighting this darn cold. I think Carolyn has a cold too. I think we're getting better, but we don't sound better yet. In fact, we did not go out last night, even though we had a great invitation, because we just couldn't do it. It smells good. It smells a little bit like a wheat beer almost. I've been very bad at identifying wheat beer this series so far. I mean, I like them when I taste them, but it's got a nice yeasty smell to it. A little hoppy. I do get notes of citrus this time. All right, let's try it. Interesting flavor. It's interesting. I have to drink some more of it. It's hard to describe. Once again, I had a Chimay Blanche once upon a time that reminded me of this. Yeah, it's a Chimay Blanche. Yeah, it's a white Chimay. It's smooth. It's a little on the lighter side. If it's Belgian, it's one of the lighter Belgian beers. It doesn't taste German. The fact that it's in a bottle. So far, every German beer I've had, and now I'm cheating, every German beer I've had so far has been in a can. It is quite rich in flavor on the light side. I really do like the dark beers that have rich flavor. This is a blonde beer with very rich flavor. And not too bitter at all. In fact, only a touch of bitterness. Well balanced. I do get those citrus notes also in the flavor. I could definitely drink more of these. It tastes a little creamy as well. And you can tell it's a little cloudy by its color. This is one of the nicer, it's going to be in the 8s, the scoring for this. It's one of the nicer 8s I've had, if you will. One of the nicer blonde beers I've had. I'm going to give it an 8.7. Let's see what we got. It is a Chimay. And it is I think it's the Chimay Blanche. Alright, I guessed right, but I guessed wrong, because I called it a Chimay Blanche. In fact, I had in my mind, it's gold. It's a Chimay Doré, or gold. Chimay is that Abbey Brewery. Beer is made by monks in the Abbey Scourmont in Chimay, Belgium. It is a traditional Trappist brewery. One other thing is that the brewery was founded in 1850 by monks that came from West Vleteren. Some say that West Vleteren makes the best beer in the world. First time I had one of these, they had just come out, and it was all the rage, because they came out with guzling's the wrong word, a more drinkable beer that you didn't have to sip because it was so strong. So it's a very good beer, and of course I've got it in the Chimay glass. Definitely get those notes of citrus. So what it goes on to say at the website, Chimay Gold has an intense and appealing golden hue with a tight, creamy head. Its aromas combine a wide range of fresh, spicy, and floral notes with an emphasis on citrus and fiery clove. Oh, I didn't get the clove. Its flavor is well-rounded, with a deliciously sweet mouthfeel and a perfectly balanced bitter taste. The lower alcohol content of Chimay Gold does nothing to diminish its flavor, distinguished by an exhilarating smell of refreshing coriander and refined hop. Its spicy flavor lingers well into the light, dry aftertaste as the perfect conclusion to this elevated tasting experience. In this particular case, those words are not just hype, they're accurate. I know people will call me beer snob, but the reality is Belgium makes great beer, and this is one of the finer Belgian beers. I stick with my score of 8.7. Beer number 22. It's a tall one. Ta-da-da! It's a tall bottle. Got my tall glass ready. No, it won't be a Guinness. Definitely not a Guinness. I almost smell bananas. Interesting. A little cloudy. Let's go in. Okay, this is a wheat beer. I said I've been bad at guessing them before. I think this is a wheat beer. It's it tastes like one. It's a little creamy. It's a little fuzzy. Wheat beer with a bit of edge. So I don't think it's Belgian. Might be German. It's more. It's got a more of a clean flavor, more of a edgy, brisk flavor. It's nice. It's quite nice. I'm gonna get Carolyn to try it because she's good at the. Because I think it might have citrus. She'd be better at telling me if I'm right or not on that. It's medium body. The flavor is actually surprisingly rich. I'm starting to think this is something like an Erdinger wheat beer or Weiss beer. The tall bottle kind of hints at that too. I quite like it. It's not a I gotta love it beer, but it's pretty good. It's got a nice aftertaste, and it tastes refreshing, like I think I said before. Not so much fresh, but as refreshing. This would be good during the summer for sure, but it might even be good at Oktoberfest. Which, by the way, you may not know, Oktoberfest isn't necessarily in October. In fact, I think the Oktoberfest in Munich, the Oktoberfest, takes place in September. Even if it's not a wheat beer, which I think it is. It's well made, it's got a rich flavor, it's got character, but it's not, to me personally, it's not at the oh my god beer level. It's pretty good, which makes it something in the 8s. I'm going to give it a score of 8.6. Let's see what we got. I tried hard because I could see some of the label, but I didn't look at what it was. I got it in one. It's an Erdinger Oktoberfest Weissbrau wheat beer. Yes, the beer brewer is Erdinger Weissbier. They make that's their specialty. They make wheat beer, and they are located in Erding, Germany. Erding, oddly enough, is just to the northeast of Munich, and near the big international airport in Munich. Carolyn and I were there once. There's another story. So anyway, it is their Oktoberfest Weissbrau, or wheat beer. Alcohol content 5.7 and 10 IBUs. Of course, that's relatively on the low side, and I would agree. So I took the privilege of putting my German Oktoberfest beer in a German Stein, because you got to do it right, eh? Mm-hmm. And it goes on to say on the website, as hearty as a Bavarian beer festival, our Erdinger Oktoberfest, this masterpiece of the brewer's art, is ideal for parties. Erdinger Oktoberfest expertly combines smooth malt aromas with a pronounced hop bitterness. This well-balanced flavor is complemented by gently sparkling carbonic acid to give it the typical liveliness of a genuine wheat beer, which I agree 100%. Smooth, strong, and irresistible. Brewing tradition at its finest. And I found out the aroma is slightly fruity, fresh. Delicate notes of hops and yeast. I had Carolyn give it a sniff test and try it as well. She says, yeah, I get the bananas. She also gets a bit of citrus. So I wasn't wrong on that. It really is a nicely rounded, overall, guzzling style Oktoberfest beer with flavor. So this is definitely, I would agree with the words I just read. It is a party beer. You could serve this to a crowd. They would love it and have a good time. I stick with my score of 8.6. Beer number 23. Ta-da. We've got here the penultimate beer in the calendar, or rather the second from the end. Regular size beer in a bottle, regular size glass. I'd say this looks like a scotch beer. Une scotch, as they say in Belgium. If it is. Could be dark ale, could be who knows what. It smells good. Lots of malt. A bit of fruit too, oddly enough. Smells nice. Smells good. Wow, that's a thick beer. I don't know what it is, but it's rich and it's thick and it's yummy. You do know I have a penchant for darker beers. Clearly, this is going to be one of the better ones because it's right off the bat. Woo. I gotta say, it tastes like a Belgian beer. Could be wrong, but it's very pleasant. Better than pleasant. It's very pleasing. Oh, I like it. It could be a Scotch. It's definitely one of the richer ones if it is. But it's clearly a dark ale. Wow, I don't know where it's from. I guess Belgium, but full-bodied, rich. It tastes strong. I get esters. I'm going to guess it's around 90% alcohol. Now I remember I had that one beer from Estonia that was too much. Even though it was super rich, this is not too much. This is quite nice. It reminds me of Rochefort, like we already had. Lots of aftertaste too. I'm trying to get some tastes on the tongue. I hesitate, but it might be chocolate. There might be a bit of vanilla. Very malty, almost caramelly. It all blends together really well, so it's hard to say. It also even feels a bit so strong that it's like drinking a bit of a brandy. You know what? I'm going to give it, I like this better than the Chimay. It's hard to believe. I'm going to give this a score, drum roll please. Best beer in the box, 9.5. Let's see what I just went gaga over. I don't know what this is. I do not, oh for heaven's sakes, I have not had this before. Ha ha ha! It's another one from Straf Hendrik. It says 11 degrees. It's a quadruple. Wow. This, as before, the brewery is the Brouwerij de Havman, the Half Moon Brewery in Bruges, Belgium. Now, this is the third time we get a beer from this brewery. If you recall, we had the Straf Hendrik, the first one. I can't remember what brand, what it was, a blonde ale perhaps. And then we had the Brugs Zot. And now we've got this Straf Hendrik Brugs Quadruple. Of course, it is a quadruple dark ale, which simply means they don't do things 4 times. It's a marketing strategy to say the stronger and darker the beer, the higher it is. This alcohol is 11%. Wow, it was strong, like I said. IBUs are 35. So, like I said, we already know a little bit about the brewery, so I'll go right into the beer. Straf Hendrik Quadruple is the first Belgian quadruple ever made. There you go, there's some history behind this. It is a rich beer, intensely dark and full-bodied. Check. Brewed with a refined mix of special malts, the beer has a complex character which combines a clean dryness with hints of coriander, dark fruit, anise, and roasted chestnuts. See now, that's wow. I didn't get any of those specific flavors except maybe the fruit because I mentioned fruit. But the rest makes sense. They all blend together. The aftertaste is slightly treacly. Aha! Now that I mentioned that, treacle, a very sweet, rich dessert. Treacly is a good way to describe it. So, I am convinced I like this just a whisker more than my favorite Chimay Bleu. So I now have my new favorite beer. This Straf Hendrik Quadruple. Beer number, last one of the case, 24, right here. Looks like a short can. It is Christmas Eve, yes. The 24th beer on December 24th, of course. And for the first time in the case, I've got a short can. Wonder what it could be. I have no idea in this case. What comes in a small can could be deadly. Deadly, I tell you. Well, here we go. It smells like it's on steroids, let me tell you right now. It's very strong, even I can smell rich alcohol. So this could be one of those barley wines or something very strong. There's one brewery out of the Netherlands that I know that does stuff like this. I wonder. Okay, well let's go in. Whoa. Oh wow. Strong, bitter, burnt coffee, chocolate in the first sip. This is not messing around, whatever it is. Okay, it's the most medicine-like tasting beer I've had yet. It's not necessarily a good thing, pardon me, but it's got a lot, if not almost too much of everything, like that one from Estonia. It's got spicing. It's like it took all the possible flavors that I like and threw them all together. And it's got maltiness. It's like I say, it's very rich. But it's got an overpowering character to it in some ways. It's almost a little bit cloying because while I get a slap of bitter, I also get sweet. I'm trying to determine if I really like it or not. Not sure if I love it yet. Maybe there's a bit of fruit mixed in there, like the other beer called it, dark fruit, something like that. Like cherry or something there. I'm stumped. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I've had this before or not. I think not. See, now I'm just getting a bit of orange. This could be totally messing with my palate. I think I'm going to give this a score, and you may be guessing. I'm not going to give you a hint now. 9.0. It's quite good. This taste is developing. What do we got? I don't recognize the can, that's for sure. It's an Imperial Stout from someplace called Keys Barrel Project Cognac. The brewer is Brouwerij Kees. Kees. In fact, I should have realized how to say this because I have a cousin with that name, Kees. So it's Kees. Coming from Middelburg, Netherlands, which is situated just north of the Belgian border. Coincidence? This is the beer is called Barrel Project Cognac 2023, and it is an Imperial Stout, 9.1% alcohol, and 18 IBU. So a little bit about the brewery itself. Brouwerij Kees is a highly regarded Dutch craft brewery in Middelburg, why I just said that, founded by the renowned brewer Kees Boeberman, famous for bold quality beers like IPA, stouts, and barrel-aged ales, known for innovation, pioneering, blah, 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 and a philosophy of no boring beers, blending classic styles with experimental twists from his chef background. Now, I pulled that off an AI thing, so I'm hoping it's true. But the point is, this is a more modern beer and brewer that creates specialty beers. So about the beer itself, this Imperial Stout, and we've had an Imperial Stout before. In fact, I really like the one from Estonia, and this one reminds me of that. But this one's even got more of a barrel oaky flavor. This Imperial Stout of 9.1% was in cognac vats for 26 months. Okay, a delicious dark beer with a firm foam color. When I poured it, there was that. Smell the sweet caramel-like scent of the stout and taste the clearly present cognac flavor that has crawled into the stout due to maturation by sitting in the casks. A dark beer with full body and a delicious, slightly smoky finish. And now they mention smoky, I get it. And it says, sit back and enjoy this wood-bearing stout. So, yep, it's definitely an Imperial Stout. It's definitely rich. It's definitely got stout characteristics with a bit of bitterness there. And I quite like it, but it's not my favorite. So, there we are. Beer number 24, score of 9.0. All right, I'm going to now wrap up this amazing Drinking Beer with Don series of beers I've had for this year, 2025. It's been an outstanding selection of European beers. And here's a few statistics for you. So, the average score of all these beer was 8.5, my average score. Now, just as a reminder for those that are just tuning in for this year, this is my 7th beer advent calendar with my friends at Cascadia. The previous 6 years have all been Canadian craft beers, in fact, predominantly from British Columbia, Canada. And they've been great. The average scores for those previous 6 years range between 8.1 and 8.3. So we're not talking a big jump overall with the European beers. And given that these are all premium beers, you know what? Yay, Canadian beer too. Nevertheless, the locations of these breweries were as follows, of these 24 beer. 11 of them were in Belgium. 4 of them from Germany, 2 of them in the United Kingdom, 2 more in the Netherlands, and even 2 more in Estonia. And 1 in each of the following, Poland, Greece, and Denmark. So that's quite a range of international beers that I got to sample. I'm now going to give you the beer parade. So here's going from the worst to the best. Here's how it worked out. I'm going to do something a little more manually than some sort of cute little graphic thing. The worst beer was my 7.2 Zinnebeer, a Belgian pale ale. And then the Münchner Gold from Germany. Those were on the lower end. And then we had the Greek beer from Kalfix and Dabs, Urbach. I'm not a big fan of that, I guess. Followed by, now we're getting into the 8s. This is an 8.0, was this Rye King from Denmark, it's a stout. And this Landlord Pale Ale from the UK. Moving up, we got the Brugse Zot. and the Zivich from Poland, Brugsy from Belgium. Then we got the Engen Blonde from Belgium, and this Weissbier, Koenig Weissbier from Germany. Followed by Straf Hendricks, triple from Belgium, and this Erdinger Weissbier, this Oktoberfest, which I just recently had. Very nice. Now we're almost getting into the 9s, and in fact, it's going to be close, but not yet. Then we're getting into the top 12. We got Rochefort's 8, and Chimay's Gold. These are two of my favorite breweries in Belgium, but these are not my favorite beers from them, but that's okay. Then we got St. Frier's Grisette Blanche from Belgium, and the Dutch 8.6 cherry beer, which I thoroughly enjoy. We have this interesting beer from Pohjala in Estonia. This was the Imperial Porter, which is a little bit too much beer. And the St. Feuillien Brun also thoroughly enjoyed that from Belgium. Now we're getting into the 9s. 9.0 for this. I just had this case cognac barreled amazing stout, and Samuel Smith's chocolate stout. Also very good. And we got this other one from Estonia, the Imperial Stout from Pohjala. And now one of my favorites, La Moinette, the Ambré from Dupont, Brasserie Dupont in Belgium. Finally to my last two, and my most favorite beer, my trusty Chimay Bleu. I've loved this for years, which has just been dethroned, at least for now, by this Straf Hendrick Brugs Quadruple. I said to David, I just saw him today, and I'll come back to that, who David is in a sec. I said, I have to get a case of this now to prove that I really like it that much more than the Chimay. So there you have my beer parade of the 24 amazing European beers I had this year. Why I mentioned David is because my friends at Cascadia rock. David is the general manager there, and then so he made this happen. And then Jared and Gwyn put together this case. Jared picked the beer, Gwyn packaged it in that beautiful case you've seen every day. So wow, these guys in Cascadia rock. Cascadia in general on Vancouver Island is a great place to go for all your alcohol needs, and they're great folks to talk to. But the ones in Cascadia are the best. Sorry, the ones in the Neuse Bay, there we are the best. There's no doubt in my mind. Thanks, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this Drinking Beer with Don series. You can see I clearly have a preference for the darker beers. That's me. I don't claim to be an expert. I know what I like. But in general, dark beer tend to be richer and more flavor. So there we are. Only 340 more days until the next beer calendar. So stay tuned for next year's Beer Advent Calendar and Drinking Beer with Don. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know where it will be coming from. It will be coming from Cascadia. Hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for next year. Cheers.